Everything in the video is for entertainment purposes. These are purely my thoughts and opinions. All media used was found on the public domain and are fair use and fair dealings.
Hiya, I hope you're all doing all right. I've had a really funny couple of days. Anyone that follows me on Twitter, you know that I got a little bit emotional over this. I suppose everything got on top of me with trying to do the fundraising. It's backfired a little bit, unfortunately, because someone reported me. PayPal have investigated my account, so the money's frozen while this investigation takes place. So all you've done literally is stopping money that people from all over the world have donated to go to these animals. You've put a delay to it, so karma, buddy. I hope it comes your way. So on from that, the lady that keeps doing videos of me, I've thought about over the last couple of days. What's the point of reporting her? She's actually not doing anything wrong. She's doing exactly what I tend to be doing. I'm talking about people. Lots of people on YouTube talk about people. Not causing any harm. So I've just decided to, let her go for it. I mean, anyone who watches the videos could have a quite, a laugh, because she discusses in great length how I'm a replacement. This is a body double, and I'm under government's mind control. She'll freeze frame and be like, look at the face she's pulling there. She shows her teeth. And I'm mid-conversation, so you could freeze frame me at any point in this video and I'm going to look weird. But hey-ho, just let her roll with it. So what have we got? We've got another inspirational campaign by the Sussexes. Not actually the Sussexes themselves, but by their fan base and stuff. And I'm not to knock anyone that wants to do something for charity, but I'm just so sick of seeing inspirational whenever they talk about Meghan or Harry. Everything just seems to be inspired by, I've said this before in a previous video, ever since Meghan's come on the scene. Oh, Catherine's wearing a pair of shoes. She must have been inspired by Meghan. Oh, Catherine's done her hair. Inspired by Meghan. They don't even have similar hair. Princess Beatrice's engagement rings inspired by Harry and Meghan. And it's just like, oh, do shut up. So let's talk about this inspirational campaign that is now starting. People around the world are to plant, in the Duke and Duchess of Sussex's honour, 10,000 trees. Oh, the irony. So I've done just a little bit of maths and I'm going to read it to you. So, right, 10,000 trees, okay? So 4 trees, roughly, don't people start angry typing me, this is what I've got off the internet. 4 trees offset approximately 1 tonne of CO2. So 1 private jet return flight to, say, Nice or Ibiza, that produces around about 9 to 10 tonnes of CO2. So that's 40 trees, roughly, per holiday if they stick in the same sort of vicinity. So that roughly works out 250 private jets to do that sort of distance. Now, this isn't just Harry and Meghan that have done private jets. The whole royal family use private jets, and I'm not attacking them for doing anything different that the others are doing, but this brings me to my next little bit of maths. On the last set of accounts that were released to do with the royal family's carbon footprint, the royal family had a CO2 amount of 3,344 tonnes, which is approximately 13,376 trees that need to offset the royal family in 1 year. So why do Harry and Meghan get so much grief when they're doing the same as the rest of the royal family? Well, one, they're quite more in your face with it. Secondly, they preach to people. They are constantly talking about conservation, what we need to do, what we as humans on this planet. And when they say we, they're not really saying we, they're saying us. They apparently are above all of this, apparently, because they can offset carbon emissions, or Elton John can offset carbon emissions. And it irritates people because I don't want to take instructions of what to do with my life or how to improve anything in my world if the people that are preaching it at me do not practice what they preach. It's patronising, condescending, and people don't like it. It's like taking advice from a vegan talking about how we all need to be vegan whilst they're chowing down on a beef burger. It doesn't fit, it doesn't work. And the other thing about this campaign is, Harry and Meghan do have star power, according to all the tripe that we read, but they do have a very large fan base. Why don't Harry and Meghan encourage their fans to support their Commonwealth ambassadors, the Commonwealth canopy that the Queen set up. Why can't they just direct their supporters? But it's almost like they're so happy about the fact that people are setting up Sussex only branding, you know, it's the Sussex conservation, the Sussex global baby shower. Now that made me laugh because that was like created by her fans after the PR nonsense went bad, and for what to counteract the fact that Meghan had such an opulent, in your face, disgusting baby shower. So now you've got the trees being planted to offset what, Harry and Meghan's carbon footprint, and you've got Meghan's clothing budget that has been widely broadcast. People have, you know, tut-tutted over that because it was so extortionate. So what does she do? She does a clothing capsule for women that can't afford office clothes to go to interviews. Rather than just getting behind these charities and supporting the ones that are already there, they seem to be hell-bent on making their own versions of everything. And that to me is about self-promotion. It's not about promoting charities. So if Meghan's PR team, sorry, not Meghan's PR, her fans, if they keep thinking up, you know, different initiatives for every time they make a PR disaster, then we're going to see a hell of a lot more, because it seems to be a continuous string of PR disasters. So Prince Charles is doing his tour across India, the Samoan Islands and New Zealand, and of course Harry and Meghan choose this time to thank their fans on Instagram, and I just think, couldn't you have just waited a few days? I mean, it is great that their fans are building this kind of little initiative up to plant more trees, but why has everything got to be done when the other royals are on tour? It's always been, you keep stum. So we all thought that they were on a 6-week break. I think most of us knew that it wouldn't stay silent. Meghan's team, Meghan's friends have all been speaking again. First up, we have got someone from Meghan's camp had basically said that she was apparently troubled about Prince Andrew's interview. There's certain things you do and you don't do in the royal family, and one of them is definitely making comments about a member of the family that you're married into. I can't imagine that's gone down very well with the Queen. Okay, it's not Meghan saying it, but it's never just Meghan, is it? She's not going to come on TV and say it. It's all leaks from her PR team, from her friends. So then we've had another People magazine article come out. People magazine is widely believed Meghan's mouthpiece. There has been several links to her and the stories that have come out, you know, her friends talking about her, the ominous letter, the court case and everything. So what's this friend talking about? Apparently Meghan knows that she's being pitted against Catherine. I don't really follow this one. I think it's trying to dredge up the whole Diana Fergie thing. They were genuinely pitted against each other. I think the only person that Meghan is pitted against is, well, everyone. Since she's come on the scene, she's fallen out with Catherine, she's fallen out with William, she's fallen out with the entire family. Her track record is, it seems to be a common denominator in all of her fallings out with friends, with family, with her new family, and it's Meghan. So I think it's Meghan just making stories about Meghan. And before people start going, it's the newspapers doing the stories, she has Sunshine Sachs doing these stories. She pays a multi-million-pound super crisis PR company to feed these stories day in and out. Meghan is behind this. Did you ever read half of the crap that came out about other royals? I mean, it's only since Meghan has joined the team that you have so much of this coming out. I still can't see Meghan as a victim. I see the way that the Windsors took her on board. She was allowed to come to Sandringham when they were unmarried, never done before. She was allowed to go on that train journey with the Queen, never done before. She was given a title despite not being a UK citizen. She was given patronages straight away when people barely knew her. She's been allowed to speak on stage. She's been allowed to talk on behalf of Harry. She had the HRH title. When you think of the number of years that Catherine had to really prove herself, Meghan's been given everything on a plate, and I think that she's just basically ruined her opportunity. I can't understand how all this time has gone on that people can still be saying that she is a victim. She's not a victim. So there's even more shade in the article talking about Meghan being pitted against Catherine, saying that the problem is Catherine was groomed from a young age to take on the role, and Meghan was a fully formed person. Fully formed. Who writes this drivel? Yes, she was quite clearly a twice, can't remember, divorced, nearly 40, over 40-year-old woman. Yes, she was completely different to the young Catherine, but that doesn't mean that you get to behave how you want without consequences, and we're beginning to see the consequences. The more we see of Meghan, the more of us that have gone, something not right, the dots just don't add up. Meghan continues to allow her friends to leak certain bits of information through the media, through People magazine, through social media, And I just can't see how someone that keeps doing that can play the victim card. It's become boring now, and they're definitely not getting the reaction that they want from many, many people. The tide has completely turned towards the Sussexes. Truth be told, I don't know what stories are true and false about Meghan and Harry. I don't know what is clickbait made up by the newspapers. I don't know what is planted by her PR team and what isn't. The stories that I take note from are the ones where it's family members, friends, work colleagues, people that are actually talking about her that know her. These are the ones that have helped me build up my own personal view of my dislikes about her. I just don't think that she's a warm person. I don't think she's a genuine person. I don't see any depth behind her eyes when she's talking, when she's down on her knees talking to children. Everything I see is fake because the camera hangs around that little bit too long, and you can see the hi, and then as soon as that camera she thinks it's out of sight, you just watch her change, and it's kids pick up on it. You see the way the children react to her, and that compared to Catherine, and that's because kids can sense insincerity. They know when you're being fake, and they won't come anywhere near you. And the other reason why people have turned in their droves against Meghan is they've seen what's happened to Harry. He is literally a husk of a man that he was. He's angry, he's bitter, he's resentful. He's turned on everyone. He's shut the door on his grandparents, which I'm not being funny, they've only got a few years left. He's turned his back on his cousins. He was close with Zara and Mike, his nieces, his nephews, Catherine and William. He's turned his back on all of his friends. And there is one common denominator in all of this, and it's since Meghan has come on the scene. The more people see of Meghan, the more, when they actually see her talking and speaking, the more people tend to go off her because they can sense that there is something not right. The friend went on to say in People magazine that they want to rewrite the rules, that they're carving out their own future for themselves. And it's like, well, it's not working. It's not working. If they wanted to carve out a completely different world for themselves, then they should never have taken the royal titles and the royal privileges. They should have gone about being private citizens. The protocols are there for a reason. And I think Harry and Meghan, their head is on the chopping block, but they've put themselves there. You can't keep blaming everyone around for the actions and the way that you behave. It just the way the world works. You can't continuously behave like a complete tool and not get called up on it. They don't seem willing to be the supporting cast, and that's what they are. They are so irrelevant in the monarchy that they need to be backing and supporting the Queen. They need to be backing and supporting William and Catherine. And if they're not willing to take the supporting role, then they need to leave. And I can't see them leaving willingly, because Meghan won't want to leave. She wants that fame. She wants that platform. She wants that purse. I don't feel as members of the royal family they bring anything positive to the table. One lesson the Queen must learn from this Andrew stuff, and Charles as well, is if a person is not behaving well at the beginning when they've been given everything, all the support, all the advice that they've had, and they started off this badly, then they are going to continue to do so until they are forced to stop. Look how long they left it with Andrew, and look at the amount of trouble that Andrew is in now. So what with everything that's going on, I think now is the time. Now is the perfect time to slimline the monarchy, to really reassess all of their travel plans, to reassess everything to do with the monarchy. I want to keep them. I do like having a royal family, but things have got to change. And if they continue to let members of the royal family to behave how the hell they want, then they deserve to be a republic. So that's it for me for now, and I will be speaking to you guys really soon. Bye.
If you like my video, please remember to like and subscribe. Please, angry typists, you will be blocked, so save your fingers of time. Love, Taz. P.S. For everyone that keeps complaining about the chipmunk voice, it's here to stay. I like him.